The time is 10 a.m. and this is WKYT Midmorning. A split-second decision saved a Lexington police officer from being run over this morning.
Plus, a major consumer alert. Toyota is recalling thousands of Prius cars over potentially deadly defects.
And McDonald's legendary icon is going low profile. We'll explain why. Just ahead on WKYT Midmorning.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning, and it's so good to have you on WKYT here on this Wednesday as we're to Midmorning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Andrea Walker. Barbara Bailey has the morning off. Well, we are in a pattern of beautiful weather here in Kentucky.
We are, you know, last couple of days, I had a couple of days off, and it was
yes,
awesome.
Yes, you did. Did you enjoy it?
Awesome out there, I'm telling you. And another beautiful day going right now. Let's check in with Micah. We do anticipate some changes, huh?
We do, yeah, especially overnight and into tomorrow. That's when you'll start to feel and see those changes. Today, not so much. Today's another awesome day. We're sitting there in the 50s and 60s at this moment, and we'll finish off holding on to the mid-70s. Pretty much where we were yesterday, and what we looked like yesterday is basically what we have today. Now, we look toward the next 24, 48 hours. Here comes a front that's going to be rolling on through, and that will bring us finally some chances of rain in the forecast. However, they're not great chances. I'm going to show you when the rain arrives, how much you can expect, and who's going to see it, who's not, because not everybody actually sees the rain. I'll have that coming up.
All right, all answers we'll look for, and we thank you. We'll see you in a bit. Lexington police right now are looking for two people who they say nearly ran over an officer.
It happened around 3:30 this morning at the Econo Lodge on Athens-Boonesboro Road near Interstate 75. The car took off when police approached, almost hitting an officer in the process. Police say they are looking for a 2003 white Dodge Stratus right now.
The family of a Lexington pregnant woman will be holding a march for justice tonight as police continue to search for her killer. Mariah Coleman was murdered last month on Winburn Drive. Police say she was hit by a stray bullet while out walking her dog. Her unborn baby also died. Coleman's due date was today. But instead of celebrating tonight, her family is planning a march for justice. It will start at 6 o'clock at the Fayette County Courthouse.
A homework assignment at Lexington's Lafayette High School is creating some controversy. Many students and parents are calling the assignment racist after the N-word was spelled out in several statements. School officials say the assignment was designed to address derogatory words used in the book To Kill a Mockingbird, which students will be reading in English class. Several students say it made them uncomfortable. Parents say there are more positive ways to teach issues portrayed in the book.
The whole entire point of the book was missed because of this assignment and 7 questions specifically on this word, as opposed to other parts of the book that should have been discussed as well.
Lafayette's principal says the assignment has been used for at least a couple of years. He wouldn't discuss if the teacher faces any disciplinary action. He did say she has apologized to her students.
A major consumer alert this mid-morning. Toyota is recalling 340,000 Prius cars because of a defect with a parking brake. Nearly 100,000 of the affected cars are in North America. Toyota says it is receiving reports of crashes, injuries, and even some deaths. The company says the parking brake, the cable there, can disengage. It causes the brakes to then stop working properly. The problem models were manufactured from August of 2015 through now.
Well, Samsung is sending customers fireproof boxes now for Galaxy Note 7 returns. The boxes are a precaution against possible fires or explosions during shipping. Samsung issued an unprecedented warning to customers, telling them to turn off and return their Galaxy Note 7s because the phones have been spontaneously catching fire. Shares of the tech company continued plunging after announcing it is permanently stopping production of the device.
Well, this is a story that was very jarring earlier in the week. A missing 4-year-old Florida girl is back home now after being found safe in Tennessee 2 days after she was kidnapped. The
little girl's disappearance sparked a major Amber Alert. The man accused of taking her is now in custody. Brian Webb has the heartwarming reunion with her family.
Hi, baby! Hugs and kisses showered on little Rebecca Lewis, back with her family after a 48-hour multi-state search.
Thank you, bring me home.
A nurse at a Memphis hospital spotted the little girl and her alleged abductor in the hospital's parking lot, recognized her from an Amber Alert, and called police.
And I'm just focused on that little girl to try to get the details of her outfit, her face.
Police believe Lewis was taken by a former family friend but haven't said why. The 31-year-old, who had his name legally changed to West Wild Hogs, had lived with the family until he allegedly threatened them with a gun more than 2 years ago.
I went from anger to love to hate, back to love.
Tennessee authorities are being criticized for delaying the Amber Alert in their state. It was issued only after the two were seen by a park ranger on Sunday.
We escalated our situation based upon the information that was available to us at the time.
While law enforcement tries to complete the investigation, Rebecca's family will try to put their lives back together.
Tell them bye-bye, we're going home.
Bye-bye, I'm going home.
Brian Webb for CBS News.
By Monday, 5 states in the southeast, including Kentucky, had issued an Amber Alert for Rebecca.
Well, Ronald McDonald is making fewer appearances these days. McDonald says it is being thoughtful by lowering the profile of its mascot for now. It comes after a wave of reports of creepy clown sightings all around the country. Some children say people dressed as clowns have tried to lure them into the woods.
The mayor of Paintsville has resigned after being convicted on federal theft charges. A federal jury found Bob Porter guilty of theft of federal funds and bribery last month. Porter did not pay for thousands of dollars in services provided to his home in Paintsville. He also used city and federal money to pay for personal expenses. Porter resigned during a city council meeting this week. His last day as mayor is November 13th.
Okay, take a look at your screen. Police are hoping these surveillance pictures will help them catch the man who robbed a Lexington business. They say this man walked into Check Advance on Richmond Road and pulled out a gun. Nobody was injured in the holdup, but police say the man did get away with some cash.
Now, this is an interesting story. A Lexington man was able to use a garden hose to help keep a fire from spreading in his home. The fire started last night at a home on Shropshire Avenue off East Loudon Avenue. A neighbor was the first to see the fire and called 911. The man living in the home grabbed a hose until crews could get there. Firefighters say his quick thinking paid off. The official cause of the fire is still under investigation, but firefighters think it may have started with a water heater malfunction.
Typically, we don't recommend people trying to attack a fire themselves, but that's because we don't want there to ever be a delay in our response, and we don't want people to be exposing themselves to undue danger.
But of course, in this case, that all paid off, but obviously be sure to call 911 first if there is a fire at your home. A house fire is under investigation in Menifee County this mid-morning. It happened west of Frenchburg off US 460. Dispatchers say the man living in the home woke up and saw flames. He was the only person inside and was able to get out.
And investigators now say that a fire at a Perry County post office was set on purpose. The fire caused extensive damage at the Yerkes post office. This surveillance video shows a suspect pulling up to the building and lighting something on fire. He then throws it at the front of the building before driving off. So far, police have not made any arrests in that case.
A Southern Kentucky man's classic car could be yours for just $3.
For a good cause. Tommy Wilson is raffling off his 1978 red MGB in Whitley County. He's doing so to raise money for his grandson, who was born needing heart surgery.
They call it hyperplastic left heart syndrome. Never really knew why I had this car, but now I understand why I have it.
Wilson's grandson, Brody, is recovering from the surgery well. Still, there are a lot of medical and travel costs, and that's what this raffle is for. So far, Wilson says he has sold nearly 1,800 raffles.
Pretty impressive.
Good luck with that, too. Right. I'm not sure if it's the one he had in high school that I remember.
You've been in one of his cars before.
I remember his, he was in the band at the school there where I went and so forth. All right, we hope you'll keep it here on WKYT at mid-morning. We have more on the way.
Coming up, a popular 70s hit helped a New York man save his coworker's life. We have that story coming right after Micah's forecast.
Awesome again for today. No problems whatsoever. It's tomorrow off into your Friday and even into your weekend. Did we actually see some changes in the forecast? We'll show you that with rain chances in there. That's coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It's a great looking day in store. Another nice one later on this afternoon, too. I see no problems whatsoever. You're trying to make any plans. No issues. 55 degrees right now in London. We're at 63 right around that at least in Lexington, Frankfort, and Moorhead. Looks great. You go off into, say, Maysville, work your way southbound into Monticello. We're warming up very nicely. We're there in the low 60s, and by the afternoon, mid-70s. This mid-70s is basically where we finished off yesterday. There were even some locations a little bit higher than that. So yesterday was warm considering where we should be, right around 70 degrees. And that's the case again today, off toward the evening hours. I don't see any problems heading out to eat. Sitting out on that patio, there's that possibility there. 6, 7 p.m. once that sun sets. It gets a little cool, though. Let's talk about overnight and into tomorrow morning, because here comes a front that will give us that rain chance. Now, the best chance of rain tomorrow morning, remember, not everybody gets in on the mix, but the best chance, it's going to be northbound and then along 75, which does include Lexington, back toward the west. That's your best opportunity. That's the best area. Now let's talk about timing. Timing on this, anywhere from 5 a.m. to about 9 a.m. is when it slides on in, and that will give us that opportunity. Remember, it's only 40% chance tomorrow. Not everybody gets that. But watch this. The farther you go toward the east, the better likelihood of it just falling apart. And the deeper you get into the afternoon, more than likely it's going to fall apart. So farther east, you just don't have a good chance of rain. Don't expect rain. Just know there's a slight chance. It's really for the western zones and right along that 60 or 75 corridor, that is. Heading into the afternoon, we're there in the mid-60s, mainly dry there for Thursday afternoon. If you have any of those events, festivals kicking off, for the most part, you should be good to go. Mount Sterling court days and Preston there in Bath County and in Montgomery County. Got the court days kicking off on Friday. As of right now, I don't see that chance of rain reaching you guys until we hit the nighttime hours. You might have to cover some things up once we get into the nighttime hours, but for the most part, it stays on out of there throughout the daylight hours. So I really don't see much of an issue there on Friday. There is a small chance of rain. That's mainly during the evening and nighttime hours. Saturday, Sunday, there are chances there too, but none of these are washouts. None of these are heavy rainmakers. I mean, you'll get some decent shots here and there, but for the most part, we're keeping the heavy rain on out of here, which is unfortunate. I would love to have just one day, preferably during the work week.
Right.
Not so much during the weekend, because we got a lot of big events going on, and we're just not going to get that anytime soon.
Not going to happen.
Well, I have a better idea. Rain overnight.
Rain overnight, that would be good too.
Yeah.
That
Smart
would be
man.
good. We'll take that.
All right. Thank you, Micah. A New York man helped save a woman's life using CPR.
And he credits the classic disco hit for helping him do it. Listen to this.
For many, the Bee Gees' 1977 hit Stayin' Alive triggers a lot of memories from the past, but for David Martinez, it helped him save a life. He says the song kicked in when a coworker fell on the electrified rail that powers one of the subway trains. Martinez recently had read an article explaining how CPR works best to the beat of that disco song. So that's exactly what he did, and it worked. Martinez says he and the woman are now like family, thanks to that timeless classic hit.
Well, I'm sure they are. And you said you had heard this before.
Yes.
I'd never heard this.
No, the doctors who've been on here from UK and other hospitals in town, and they talk about that. That is the rhythm at which you want to do if you have to do
obviously
CPR.
It works.
Yeah, it did.
All right, Dakota Fanning gets a view from the top, and Rod Stewart rocks a new title.
And Suzanne Marquez has those stories and more in today's Eye on Entertainment.
Rapper Drake has canceled the rest of his Summer 16 tour to recuperate from an ongoing ankle injury. Reps say he tried to power through, but ended up making it worse. Drake recently scored a record 13 nominations for the American Music Awards. You can now call him Sir Rod Stewart. The British rocker was knighted at Buckingham Palace for his services to music and charity. Prince William did the honors. Stewart called it a monumental honor.
1, 2, 3.
Actress Dakota Fanning was on hand for the ceremonial lighting of the Empire State Building. The building was lit in red to mark the International Day of the Girl, devoted to ending discrimination against women and girls everywhere.
This is what I dream of for all girls and young women around the world, that they have the opportunity to learn and realize their dreams.
Fanning is a Save the Children ambassador, and she sponsors a young girl in eastern Tennessee. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
All right, coming right up, you can enjoy an evening of culinary excellence and help babies grow up to be healthy.
A preview of the March of Dimes Signature Chef's Auction. We've got a real treat coming up. Stay with us.
And before we go to break here, tonight's Powerball jackpot, $107 million, and Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $15 million. Keep it here on Mid-Morning. Welcome back. It's mid-morning on WKYT. It's a recipe for healthy babies. The March of Dimes is preparing for its annual Greater Bluegrass Signature Chef's Auction.
And Jonathan Searle, executive chef at the Lockbox, is one of many who will be serving up some delicious dishes. Welcome, Jonathan.
So nice to be with you all
this
morning.
This looks so good. Oh my gosh.
Welcome, Jonathan, and your pie.
Yes, and this too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell us what you're making. It looks like a harvest time treat.
It is. So we're barely able to wait for fall to really kick in and the air to cool off, but we started last week on our menu, our pecan pie. I like to think it's one of the best around. It almost beats my grandma's, hopefully.
Almost.
Almost.
You're safe.
But we added a little dark chocolate to ours, and yeah, so I was going to kind of show you the start to putting one together this morning. What I've got in the bowl here, I've got some brown sugar, corn syrup, butter.
Up just a little bit there.
Yeah, a little butter in there. So this was all get melted if we were doing this not on TV right now. And then we mix that with our eggs, our chocolate, and our butter again. And that gets all mixed together. And then we're going to pour it. Now the shell you can use, if you don't have the time to put one together, you can get one from the store, use your favorite family recipe. You want to make sure that's chilled. And pretty much frozen so that it gets great lift and flake when you go to the bake. But once the filling's put together,
I just want to eat that with a spoon. Gosh.
And you want to put the chocolate chips in last so they don't get too much melt to them. Yeah.
Pecan pudding, huh?
Yeah, it looks good.
That looks amazing.
So from that step, we just go ahead and get it flattened out, and that would go with a frozen crust right into the oven. Bake about 1 hour until it's firm in the center at 315 degrees. And comes out, gets rested, and I like to take a good bit of bourbon whipped cream and just
bourbon whipped cream.
Dollop that all over the top.
It already looked good. Now it's even better.
I mean, what else?
Exactly. Jonathan, this is all a part of what you're going to be doing at this March of Dimes event that is coming up. Tell us what people can enjoy if they turn up for that.
So the event's on November 4th. It's sponsored by UK. It's for the March of Dimes. It's the annual gala for the main event, so to speak, for the year. There's going to be 15 chefs, including myself, going to be doing small plates, and there's going to be a small batch bourbon tasting, live auctions. It's at the Marriott, if I didn't say that already, and it's just going to be a lot of fun, kind of for a good cause for healthy babies through the March of Dimes.
Yeah, how did you get involved with the organization?
Honestly, just earlier this summer, they were reaching out to me, and I was trying to, now that I've been in town for around a year and I've got my legs under me, I just want to reach or be a part of any kind of good cause that I can get involved in.
That sounds good. Well, this is obviously a great dessert item, but there'll be other foods as well there.
Oh yeah, there's going to be all kinds of things. I'm excited to see what the other chefs are going to be bringing.
And there's a little competition there too.
As I just found out.
Right.
You didn't know you were being judged.
Well, if I were judging, this looks pretty good.
It's pretty
good.
If you want to go, it's on Friday, November the 4th. It'll be from 6:30 until 9:30 at Griffin Gate Marriott, presented by UK Healthcare. Marchofdimes.org gives you more information and ticket info. Thanks for coming in.
It's really nice to be here.
We
Thanks
appreciate
it very much. And we'll try that out.
That's right.
I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah, I have no doubt. Keep it here on Mid-Morning.
Yeah, in just a moment, we'll check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next and see what's cooking up on this Wednesday.
Well, if you're tired of serving the same old dishes all the time every fall, we've got a twist on a fried favorite vegetable dish.
And it really looks good, doesn't it? Today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, it's butternut squash fritters.
The next time you go to the market, take a few extra minutes and check out all the different types of squash. If you're like most people, you sort of just walk by them since you're not really sure what they are or what the heck to do with them. So let me share a couple of my favorites. These here are acorn squash. They get their name since they're shaped like an acorn. After we cut them in half and remove the seeds, we can roast them with a little butter, salt, and pepper, and are they ever tasty? Now, these big things are butternut squash. Again, these and the acorn squash are both gourds. After cutting them in half and removing the seeds, they're ready to be roasted, boiled, or mashed. But today, we're going to turn these into fritters. After peeling and grating them, we mix them with some chopped onion, an egg, a little flour, and salt and pepper. Then we carefully spoon these into some hot oil until they're crispy and golden. Who would think those strange-looking squash could be so darn good? Maybe drizzle on a little syrup to make them extra tasty. The recipe for our butternut squash fritters is online now, along with a bunch of our other favorite squash recipes. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a gorgeous way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. They're hot.
All right, looks pretty good.
Anything with fritter
today.
in the name is usually good, you know?
Exactly right. Doesn't look as good as my man's pie over there.
Right.
That's
Nonetheless,
good
it looked all right. All right, let's check out the forecast real quick. 76 degrees later on today. It's a really, really nice day in store. Easy forecast, right? Then on Thursday and Friday, much cooler air funnels on in. We will have a rain chance on really all 4 of the next days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, off into Monday. Yeah, it's a smaller chance, but it moves up pretty early. So we're going to go over the timing on all these because we have some big events coming up, kicking off tomorrow and towards your weekend. And not only that, but Keeneland starts back today. So is this the only day you can really get out there and just kind of enjoy? We're going to go over that coming up at WKYT News at noon, and also look at some rain chances that we haven't talked about.
We haven't seen them in a
That
while.
we need in reality, right?
That's true.
Thank you so much for being with us on WKYT at mid-morning. And don't forget, we'll have the latest for you right here at noon.
Have a great day, everybody.